The first thing that we're going to do is write some code, and we're going to add this to our server.js file. We're going to just set up a test route that we can make use of just to create a GET request and start testing out our API. To get started, make sure you have a terminal open with the location at the API folder of your Node.mongo project. We're going to go ahead and start up our server just using the normal nodemon command. We're not going to be using Docker, we're just going to be using the standard node command to start our API here. So we'll say npm run start and then :dev, and then you're going to hit enter and just make sure your server is running. We've got our hot reloading working there. Within our server.js file, I'm going to add a bit of space here so we can start to work, and this is where we'll be creating our first GET endpoint. The first thing is I just want to make a note for us saying that we should eventually abstract this to a router. I personally don't like polluting this kind of file with all of the routes. Like, as there's more and more routes that you add to your API, this can get very messy. So to me, it's better just to abstract this to a separate part of your code base. But for now, just testing purposes, let's just work within this server.js file. So we're going to be adding a test route here just to start tinkering with the networking and how this will work with Docker. Let's write the code to this. We're going to say HTTP server, and we're going to use this get keyword here, and this is going to take in a string that will be a specific API endpoint that you want to do. And for now, I'm just going to create this /ping route, and then this takes in a callback function with 2 arguments. For now, we can just say the request and the response. And I'm just going to set up a simple console log here, and I'm just going to write something here that we can then take a look at in our terminal. So I'm just going to say ping route, and then I'm going to use some string interpolation. I'm going to print out the request.url as well as just a timestamp, just so that we can see the order in which these requests come through. If we hit this ping endpoint, we'll see this console log. And then the last thing I want to do is just finish off this response or the request response cycle. And we'll do this by saying res.status. We'll just give it a response of 200, and it's going to end that response cycle. And I'm just going to add a JSON object here, and we'll just put a message in. And we'll say pong and then test successful here. I think that's all we need at this point in time. You can go ahead and save your work. In order to test this out, there's a couple of ways we can do it. You can just go ahead and open up a tab in your browser. Because it's a GET request, we could just use a normal browser to this. So we can say localhost, and we can reference the port, which is 3000. And then we'll use that /.ping to hit the ping endpoint. And so if I hit enter here, it's going to make this a bit bigger. You'll see that we get this response message, pong test successful. And so that we know that we're getting the response. And then we can also see in our console or in our terminal here that we've got, which is dumping out the console log, we see that the ping route was hit successfully. So this is very simple stuff. We've got our first API route set up. We know that we're getting a 200 back, and so we can verify that on our local host with a standard node setup and express setup, our API is working fine. So let's go ahead and start this up using Docker. So I'm going to kill our server, just clear out the terminal. And I've gone ahead and I've cleaned out all the Docker images and containers on my machine. I want to start from scratch here. So even though we have got the volume set up, I'll just be recreating the Docker image from scratch. So we can do this using our command. We can say npm run docker build. Give that some time to do its thing. Once that's complete, we can go ahead and use our command npm run docker run. Once that's run successfully, you'll see that we have got the output here of the Docker container. They're just telling us that the server is running on port 3000. So now at this stage, you can go back to your browser, and I'm just going to open up a brand new tab, and we're going to try hit localhost 3000 /ping. And if you try to ping your API on localhost 3000, you're going to get back this area here where it says the site can't be reached, and you're going to get the specific error saying error connection refused. And this was a specific error that we are leading to here. So we can introduce the concept of networks in Docker, and how we can adjust our Docker command to make use of networks to overcome this issue. And so let's take a short break here. In the next lesson, we'll take a deeper dive and understand what's going on here. So I'll see you on over there. Cheers for now.